All right, Yogi. So let's start today right into something. Let's start in that tabletop position. And what better core more movement to warm up here than that cat cow? You guys know what to do here. Let's start our breathing, focusing on the body. Nice inhale, arch the back. And nice exhale. And you're kind of getting some insight here, not necessarily pushing it too strong. Some days it might feel good to go a little bit faster in your cat cow. As you can see, I'm not going as deep in range of motion, but I'm going a little faster. I notice my wrists feel a little tight today, so I'm doing a little like wrist stretch while I'm doing it. As you can see, I'm turning my palm face up on one hand. All right, and I'm kind of switching. Still going with my cat cow here. Starting to deepen the breath. Okay, next little subtle warm up here for the core. Notice I'm in tabletop still. I just kind of drop my hips right, drop my hips left. Okay, you feel stretching your outer hip, maybe in your lower back a little bit. I can move the upper body to the opposite side. So you can see your hips going over to the sides. A little bit down maybe. I feel it like stretch right on that outer kind of hip bone. Okay, continuing with some movements here, yogis. Back in tabletop. Inhale, the right leg kind of lifts and straightens. Pull that belly in. Remember, that's what we're looking out for. As that leg lifts, the back wants to kind of arch. Pull it in, big inhale. Exhale, knee to forehead. Inhale. I kind of like pulse the leg up here, yogis. Exhale. That kind of even like squeeze slowly. Remember, when I say pulse, it's not like a jerky or fast movement necessarily. It's just to activate it on that end range. Squeeze it in and under. Squeeze that core. Okay, last few on that first side. Remember, I try not to encourage like a certain number of reps. Some mornings you just do like a couple, maybe it doesn't feel good. But some mornings you're feeling good, you can push more reps, more pulsing. So more like an intuitive in the moment process as opposed to just a number. Okay, let's do the second side. If you're just joining me, you missed cat cow with a little light wrist stretching. You missed a little side to side with the hips, side body opener. And now we're getting more into the glutes and the abs and the hip flexors. So our left leg is lifting, straightening, foot is flexing, and then exhale. You're squeezing it under and rounding. Okay, inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Last few, guys. It's a really nice light warm-up movement. Gets the glutes and the hip flexors, and those are two of the biggest core stabilizers, right, in the back and front body. All right. So now that that's feeling pretty warmed up, take a moment, guys. We're going to be in down dog. If you need to roll, shake your wrists out. Next position, a little bit more of like a stretch, but it is very active. You know what to do here. Loosen up those feet a little bit. Shake the head a little yes and no. All right, so first down dog. If you need a child pose instead, that's always kind of a similar area. Substitute pose. So we woke up the core a little bit. First kind of big inversion. Okay, so if you're just joining, you missed cat cow, you missed some like lateral movements, a little light wrist stretching, and a little bit of the leg lifting and the core squeezing, knee into the chest.
And now we're in down dog. All right, let's shift forward to that first plank, yogis. So just, a nice plank here. If you're feeling good, stay on those hands, engage those thighs, squeeze the butt. If you're feeling a little tired, you can always do a little half plank. It's on the knees. Or if the wrists are hurting, you know what to do. You drop to your forearms here. So a couple breaths. You can go shift a little bit forward and back too. Some days you encourage more movement in the body, and some days a little bit more of that disciplined stillness. Classic kind of start here. Getting that plank going, yogis. And if you're feeling great, you know what to do. You hover a foot here for just a breath or 3. Last few breaths in your plank. Second foot would hover. Just hovering one foot, man, it makes plank so much more difficult, right? Especially pretty early in class. But we're probably, almost 10 minutes in already. Okay, downward dog. We're gonna go into a big movement now. This is for this is the second round of the step forward. I'm gonna bring my hands closer together. I'm gonna put my hands on blocks. It is dynamic stretching, yogis, but there's activation. We do this a lot in this class in particular. Right foot outside the right block. Inhale, right arm up and open. Nice strong legs, pressing those big toes down, turning that chest core up to the sky. Exhale, right foot down, right hand down, right foot back. Down dog, left foot forward, left arm up. You can drop the knee a little bit if you want. As you go through this, you can kind of be more creative. Okay, left hand down, left foot back, left foot, right foot forward, right arm up. Okay, we're getting that first big rotational quality in, yogis. Okay, a little bit more challenging would be to stay in plank and even kind of lift the leg first, then step it forward. Okay, you can add push-ups. This is where we're starting to get a lot more active, yogis. Right arm up, inhale, right foot forward. Exhale, low plank. Inhale, left foot forward, left arm up. Exhale, left hand down, push up. Okay, so a lot of kind of levels there. If it's all too much, you don't really need to do the step forward. You could drop to the knees and do something like this. We do this one a lot. I want a little bit more activity at this point. Moving the body a lot. And sometimes you go kind of fast, right? Let's not over obsess with always doing everything so slow. On a good day, and if you've been moving slow a lot, maybe you get going a little bit. Last few moments here, please. This is when you want to get into, right? You want to all right, down dog. Last thing here. I know it's a lot on the wrist right now, but we're about to stand up after this. It's just basically a few chaturangas, yogis. You can either drop to your knees, go child pose, on the knee, plank to cobra. So if you want to see the demo, you guys know chaturangas, right? So easier would be like this. Child pose, knee on the plank, bend the elbows down to the chest. Inhale, cobra. Child pose. Knee plank, bend the elbows, cobra, child pose. That's easier, right? Or a few of these chaturangas. High plank, low planker to the chest, cobra, down dog. Okay, few more, adding anything, the swooping versions, knees, chest, chin. Remember, linking the breath to the movement. How do we make exercises yogic? By kind of adding meditative qualities and intentions to exercise. Yoga is a mental practice, right? It's, it can be physical, and hatha yoga is the physical yoga. But how do we make anything yogic? Remember, the goal is to make like life more yogic or meditative or intentional. Union yoga means so present. How do we create unity? Union, more present with yourself. Your mind's more connected to the moment. Presence, so tuning into the breath, tuning into feeling the body. Applying those meditative principles, controlling your attention, setting more intentions. All right. So downward dog is where we're going to meet. Now you get that nice stretch, kind of touching your toes. We'll slowly walk our feet to the front of our mat. You can bend your knees, take a little inhale, half lift, and then maybe intertwine your forearms, a little swaying. Some days I like to pinch the chin to the chest, hands behind the head. One of my favorites, you guys know it, is hands behind the back. So, take a little breather here, kind of feel it out. And we're going to go through our standing series pretty early in class here today. And then the rest of the class will be more on the ground. All right, let's bend our knees. You can let your spine, we don't do this in this class that much, or in any classes that much, right? Teachers say bend your knees, let everything hang heavy, pull your belly and round up. That's known to irritate the back a lot, right? Because you don't really have people go like this in exercise, right? We do this in cat-cow. Right? And this is more like a dynamic one with weight on it. So just to be clear, you can do this stuff, yogis. I do want that core integrity as you're doing it. Pull the belly in. So I'm rounding up, right? Arms, head hang heavy, belly in. You don't want people that have sensitive backs doing that. You don't want people who are new to yoga really doing that either, probably. All right? Maybe shake it out once you get up standing. All right, so we got to do our quick round of squats. Not going to do many today, so one nice round of getting those legs weight bearing and moving. You know what to do, yogis. Starts off nice and easy. It's like you're going to your chair pose, maybe pausing. Okay, if you want to hold your chair a little bit longer, as you can see, I'm doing a little bounce, really good. And then I'll stand up, squeeze the butt a little bit. It's like a bridge. I could start to go in and out of chair a little bit more. Maybe even a little deeper to yogi squat. Notice my knees stay rather over my toes. My knees don't go way forward like that, okay? If I want to swing the arms, my squat kriya. If I want to widen my feet as I go, narrow my feet. Get going here, guys. I want a nice minute and a half of squatting practice. Like I said, in yoga, we call it chair pose. Is a type of squatting. Yeah, some days you go a little faster, yogis. Some days you sit lower. Now, another little thing you can try if you're feeling good, right? It's called a sagittal squat. That's where, you see from the side, my feet aren't aligned anymore. My right foot goes back 3 inches. 3, not 6, 3, okay? Right foot goes back, heel stays down, squat. Okay, so that adds another layer of the squatting where it's the asymmetrical. From the side, your feet are not symmetrical. Okay, make sure you do your other foot. Last moments here in squatting. A while back, I just kind of realized squat every day, right? You have to bend over every day, right? And your knees, basically your legs are bearing the weight. And if you don't move the joints, they're going to get stiff and restricted. So it's just keeping the body able to move, right? To be able to squat. And I make that joke, like when I went to India, there was no toilets. So talk about a functional range of motion, you kind of have to be able to do that, right? So that just puts it in perspective of why that movement's needed. Next thing here, guys, let's stand up. You know, take a moment if you need. Always good to do stuff like this where you're kind of, you know, shaking it out or giving your body a little massage, a little, you know, little gentle kind of what they call tapotement. It's like a little massage here in the muscles. Okay, that's always good stuff. Next thing is that side body, second round of the side body. Big version here is both arms up. You know what to do. It's a fantastic, I pretty much do this most days I work out here. Arms up, and I'm going over to the side. Okay, a little bit easier is kind of feet a little wide. I am lifting up, yogis, not just dumping over in the side body. A little bit more stretchy, right foot in front, right arm up. So you got some options. I tend to do this one the most. Inhale. Okay, double exhale. Over to the side. It's only about 10 to 12 per side here, not too many, please. I have some core integrity, pulling the belly in. You know, another fantastic lateral warm-up type movement, I tried to mention is jumping jacks. As you can see, it's going to be more lateral arm and more lateral leg, as opposed to this. This is very much lateral leg and arm, but it's more also lateral core. Jumping jacks don't really get that much lateral like core, but they are fantastic. So if you want to add something like that, good job, okay? Let's keep going here, guys. Shake it out a little bit, please. High knees. I like to do the transverse abdominal one. If you want to add, I've done it like this, where we kind of squat again, lift the knees. We've done it like this. We've done it like this, right? So it's a high knee type exercise. Arms up, big inhale. Kind of squeezing the core. If you want a little extra, you kind of pause and pulse it up. Okay, squeeze the butt, lift it up. So what do athletes do? They kind of do like high knees like that. You want to do a little something like that? Sometimes, like I've tried to mention, the yogis get kind of like, you know, oh, I can't do anything else but what my yoga teacher taught me is good yoga. That's narrow-mindedness, no yogis. Let's keep an open mind and use all strategies, because there's also people who don't want to do any yoga stuff and they're expert exercisers. So let's use all methods. That's open-minded is the key. Really slow holding and pulsing, or even really fast, you know. Last few. Right, even though squatting is going to shorten the hip flexors, it's not like real weight bearing on them. It's supposed to be a little bit more weight bearing in the back line, because that's what lengthens and has the contraction outward. So concentric contraction is back line, glutes, mainly, hopefully, and the quads. All right, when you're done there, shake it out, please. Okay, we're going into hinging. I am going to go right to one-legged today, guys. I don't want to be on the standing too long today. So if you need a few warm-up double, inhale, double leg, exhale. Inhale. This is super core now. Hamstrings. We just came from hip flexors and quads, hopefully glutes. Now back to glutes and hamstrings. Now you're feeling good. Left hand, inhale, reaches about 2-3 feet in front of right foot. Exhale. Inhale. Same thing, you gotta slow this one down a little bit. Exhale. It's warrior 3, but moving. I've mentioned a lot, you know, if you have like little props and other types of equipment, like you have your ankle weights, you have little dumbbells, little kettlebells, you have bands to go around your thighs, they can be added to all this stuff for extra strengthening and resistance. Body weight sometimes isn't really adequate. you know, unless you're doing it in a certain way with really intentional contractions, it is really good to add weight training, yogis. You do have to be a little bit more like careful, right? So Leslie, left hand has the weight. Left hand, there you go. Just so that, you know, that what happens if the right hand has it, you know, it's not wrong, but you tend to go to like half moon, you're like this more, okay? So if I keep it in my left hand, it's gonna keep the left side body down more, and you're in that more neutral hinge. It's not wrong, it's just kind of like second tier. So you start with this one, left hand in front of right foot. Eventually, after a round or two of that, you go right hand in front of right foot. It's a little bit more like half moon movement. Okay, make sure you start your second side if you haven't, please. I can give you a good 30, 45 seconds more here. Hinging, and you can do complex hinging. You can do the knee comes up in, you know, every rep, high knees again. You can do, you know, half moon would be more complex, like adding that. Holding would be more, pulsing through areas would be more. You're practicing bending over, so you have to balance, you have to be flexible and strong. All right, so, you know, looks like a few is resting. I'll give you another 20 seconds. So now you're in the straight-legged hinge. You came from some high knees. That's basically squatting, right? High knees. It's yoga squat in the top leg. And that was squatting before that in the lateral. So we got to go back to our twist, and we're going to do that fast twitch today. And it's going to be the second round of squat. It's supposed to be a big, sturdy, still leg hold. Okay, bent knee and rotation and laterals after the symmetrical, the forward and backs. Okay, so now I'm going to move you forward, turn those toes open wide. This is supposed to be a tough leg moment, yogis. You got to really set the intention. Okay, I'm going to do some work here for those legs. Okay, because we don't have weights for our legs, so you got to hold now. All right, toes turn out, knees over heels. Press the outer edge of your feet down, tuck your tailbone. So this is the fast twitch core. Let's do right palm face forward, C clamp. Fingers line up. I kind of make this C clamp, it's called, right? Right palm forward, shoulders back and down. Sit low. I inhale left, exhale right. This is faster in the core. Squeeze your pelvic floor, pull your belly in. Come on, slow down. Feel a lot of core contraction. So close your eyes, connect that mind, that neuromuscular awareness is enhancing. Gotta really feel like hundreds of contractions in the core right now. So you are going left and right. This is full spinal rotation, yogis. There is no, we already did the one-sided rotation. That was our warm-up. Life is never one-sided. I know your physical therapist is constantly teaching you injury rehab. Injury rehab is very different than optimal body conditioning. It is no one half-sider. That's not life. You never do that in life. Posture is never static. There's never a one-sided body stabilization. There's never symmetrical static exercises. Okay. That's called functional exercise. That's the new thing in exercise physiology. How can we exercise in a way that's creating optimal function for our everyday life? All right, and longevity. Okay, shake it out. You got one more side. You have to go to leg peak. So it's not this. You already did that. It's the full one now, right? It's just like the kitchen. You turn left and then you turn right. So here we go. Left palm forward. You're going to inhale right, exhale left. You don't have to twist much, yogis, right? You can just keep it tighter, right? And just kind of like turn, belly in. See all that contraction in there? Turn. Obliques, transverse abdominis. Pelvic floor squeezes, outer edge of feet press down. Slight tuck of tailbone. Shoulder blades relax down and back a little bit. Go ahead. Come on, yogis, this is power breathing. Think of this like a nice cardio moment, really getting the breath, heart rate up. Strika breathing is what it's called, the breath of fire. You inhale, exhale. Just be easy. It's not like you're jerking into the range. That's when this is going to hurt you. You know, it's more like muscle tightness and sturdiness. Your shoulders got to relax, yogis. Like you guys are like this. Down. Okay. Yeah, shake them out a little bit. It's hard work, you know, as you're getting into it, the body tenses up. That's normal. Just try to scan back through. All right, so, you know, pretty good there, guys. See a lot of you is fatiguing. No rush. Last moment here, you kind of shake it out. So we only did one balance. Core balance is key in core work. Okay. Now this is the third round of squat. It is the abduction. It's the one legger. It is a dynamic, but you pause, right? So however you want to do this, hands could be on hips. I'm going to show you quick. Left foot's going to hover. I'm in a chair, not too deep probably. Left foot's going to hover. I'm not turning the chest open. I'm not turning the knee open. I'm just going out, holding, hovering. Look, I'm trying not to change much here or here. Now the key is, yogis, I don't want to arch my back, so people do this. Tuck tailbone. As I tuck my tailbone and squeeze my pelvic floor, I take it out of the lower back so much. Because when the leg goes out, it can cause that lower back arch to pinch more on the side. All right, so go ahead. You know, if you don't want to do it like this, this is another way. Look. This is another way. Side plank is another way. This is another way. Right, so there's a lot of ways to do this type of exercise. In case this one isn't serving you, right? You could literally just do it straight leg too, kind of like this. Second leg, please. A little bend in the knees, a little weight in the heel. Out, pause. Sometimes it's good to like pulse out there. We have to have the strong abduction, yogis, because we did a really light warm up on the tabletop, and then we did the big lateral movement with the hands above the head. And now you're really going. So you don't want to turn the toes out though. You just did that. That was the glute squat. That was your legs there. This is completely abduction. It's not rotation. Okay, last moments. All that's basically happening is your thighs go apart. It's normal for you to feel this in the back too, right? Because where are we working? It's right here. Look how close that is to the lower back. You know, it's this muscle, glute medius, is considered main hip stabilizer by a lot of people, especially on the lateral plane, right? So that's right here. So as you tighten this, you know, you're gonna feel it like right here a lot, okay? It's normal. So that's the last little balance there. We did the high knees. That's the first round, and then you did the bending over, and then you did so squat, hinges, squat again. All right, let's do this here. Shake it out a little bit. How about you do a little calf raise just to kind of lift your heels? We need to do more of this, yogis, in classes where you're strengthening those ankles, soles of the feet, right? Plantar fasciitis people, bottom of the foot get sharp pains. People with knee issues, back issues, you need to do those calf raises. That's back, that's posterior chain, yogis. If your feet are weak, how is your lower back going to feel good? It's not, that's the answer. All right, let's make our way down to the floor. Let's go here. I'm gonna take it to yogi squat. We touched our toes dynamically, down dog. We did it in forward bend earlier, so I'll take that nice child pose. So I'm gonna do one weight bearer on the arms here. If you can do handstand at the wall, please do that. If you can do a dolphin, that's another good idea. You might want to work on a crow, as long as we're kind of weight bearing on those arms. So I'm showing you the crow quickly. This is getting a little fancy and kind of playful in the practice. Easier would be back to your plank pose. Maybe even doing something like this, adding on second round of plank. We did one earlier, heels to the right, heels to the left. I mentioned even full side plank. You did just come from your side body. So let's get a little workout for your arms now. If you want to just do a second round of push-ups, that's cool. You could do something like a diamond push-up or a shoulder overhead push-up. We've done all these in previous classes. Even when in doubt, just holding down dog is a lot of arm work, especially if you're not very flexible in it. So let's do some work here, yogis. I'm thinking arm exercise. What are you doing? There it is. Nice grind. Last, oh, nice little headstand. That can work too. All right, so last moments here. Nice job. And we're going to finish up with the core work here. I do want to do some of the, we got to do our glutes one more time. We obviously have to hit the abs. And then we're going to do the hamstrings. And I do want to give you some stretch time at the end today, okay? So I did want to mention, yogis, I'm sorry, but I'm not going to do class on Thursday. I'm going to be staying at my sister's new apartment, and I'm going to have my dog with me. And it's just, I can't really do it. So there'll be all the recorded classes for you to practice, all right? But I'll be here on the weekend. So listen, guys, let's swing it around. Let's start the abs. So we got a lot of time still left in class today, which is nice. So we can get a few ab exercises in here. And there's a lot of levels. I'm going to start with the basics here, a little bit more of an isolated action so we can get really solid abdominal contractions. Okay, so I'm going to lay on my back here. You can see my dog, she has her underwear on because she's having her first cycle. Come on, okay, got it. All right, so this is called the closed chain crunch, yogis. It's excellent for your abs. If you have back pain, think about going up more, okay? Feet down, inhale, arms up, exhale. I like to pause. Pause, slowly lower down. Up, pause. Slowly lower down. Up, pause. Hold it, slowly lower down. Come on now. So it's a crunch as opposed to a sit-up. See, people hate on crunches all the time, but sit-ups are known to hurt people's back more, especially people who can't actually do them, right? So if you're using momentum and jerking the body, that's how you hurt the body, definitely. Contracting muscles less likely to hurt the body than moving your body in a fast, jerky motion without muscle contraction. So let's keep going, yogis. It's just basic, right? You're basically going like this, squeezing, right? Come on, come on. Let's go do this. Outside. She's coming downstairs. All right, so that's your first little tier. And you guys know this little sequence. We can get fancy with abs, but we've already done like this fast twitch here. You've done the knee into the chest a lot, right? So you don't need to do that now. Now we'll do the double leg swing. That's what we're lacking. We did the knee up multiple times. We did it on the chest. We did the step forward out. We did the standing knee to chest, but we didn't do the double leg swing with the front tension, okay? So now I would go here. A little easier, yogis, is this, right? The key is to keep your lower back down. As my legs go behind me and back, remember it wants to pull your back into arch, same thing. Legs go forward, lower back down. This is like therapeutic style. Lower back down, legs forward, legs in. Little bit more, legs go forward and down, heels tap, legs come up. Little extra is lifting the pelvis so the tailbone lifts a little bit. More muscular contraction and tension. If you're feeling good though, you could do it with a little crunch still, maintaining that first exercise in a static form. I'm already feeling it, right? If you do this well, it's good, okay? If you want to go a lot, legs forward up, pop. If you feel good, arms, legs, opposite. I'm just kind of like letting you go here. We're still going like straight forward and back, yogis. Yeah, nice. Yeah, train till you fail, right? I don't know what it is about abs. I can train my back all day, my legs, my arms, but then I get to the abs and I'm like, oh no, abs, here we go. You know, I go to the gym and it's like always like the last thing I do, usually these days. I'll do like a little warm up for them, but I won't like blast them until I'm kind of like done with legs and upper body and back. I don't know what it is. It's like my least favorite thing to train person. Hopefully that changes. So now, yogis, I want to go into the side. Now, this is a nice little exercise here. There's a lot of ways to do this. So I'm going to roll onto my left side here so you can see me. If I'm on my left side, my left arm goes forward. That's just to balance me and keep me on my side. Look at my left knee. My knees are still stacked, but my left knee is bent. So it looks like this, yogis. Okay? Even though we did lateral leg lifts once, this would be your second round. Now it's lateral flexion. We did lateral flexion, but there's no real like, this is a compression flexion. The first one was more of like a tension flexion, lateral flexion. So this is that really good side body compound trainer. Outer hip, right through the outer waist. And you're gonna get the underarm. You feel this tense up too, right? Okay, inhale. You see that? Now, what you want to be careful of is people always do this. Terrible form. People do this. I'm like this. Look at the length. Look at the long. People go like this. They find a way to make every exercise like they're sitting in a chair. They find a way to curl into a little ball in every exercise. And the people who do it in like this pose, they tend to do it like everywhere. It is a long body, yogis. Long and lengthy. It should not be a big movement. It's a very small movement. Slower. Don't jerk that body now. This is we should be very warmed up in many ways, right? We're 40 minutes in the class. So this is, like I said, remember the outer body tends to be kind of like the most risky in a neutral posture for lower back. If you're bent over, twisting is probably more risky, but we are taking some risk here, right, to build the core. So when you're ready, switch sides, you know, it's like it's body weight. So what are you trying? 10 to 15 reps. You roll onto your right. So basically from the side, yogis, you're like this, right? My right arm here, and I'm laterally moving. This is last lateral of class, okay? We've done quite a few, 4 rounds in the lateral, right? It's basically all the same step. Last few moments here. So I'm just sticking with abs, yogis. I'm not going to do the thing where it's the complex vinyasa sequence, front body, back body, side body, front body, back body. I'm just staying like right in the abs, basically, even though this is getting into the side, right? We're just getting our abs done now. All right, so we got one more here for the abs, please. Roll onto your back when you're done. Take a little neutralizing moment before you do this last strong round. And this last strong round is 2 sides. It is the micro twist. We did the big twist twice. That is a neutral spine more, or even a extended spine more, right? Because as we are stepping forward in our lunge and twisting, it's almost like we're in a back bend as we twist up. When you're in your, you were doing the fast pulsing upright, you was very neutral, tall spine. I was asking you to tuck your tailbone, lift your chest. So it's almost more like a back bend. Cobra. Now you do go into the crunch twist, all right? Laying on your back. This is one of my favorites. Like I said, basics, yogis. You did the lateral leg swing. Let's go back to the front. Last kind of big leg swing of class. Right hand down by side. Inhale. Left hand toward outer right pinky toe. Okay? Now, we did leg swings. We did crunch. Now you're going to twist an asymmetrical, one leg, one arm. Inhale. Exhale. If you don't want to do this, yogis, something simple is like this, right? This is the same exercise, basically. Left hand behind left ear, right ankle, top left knee, elbow to knee. Look, hands on abs. That's basically the same thing in a more therapeutic, basic way. Go. Keep going, yogis. Go strong. Last ab thing. All the way, all the way. All right, and then you're just basically going to take a little break, and then this is last burnout, yogis. After this, we're going to do our hamstrings and glutes, and then it's kind of pretty much the end of class, right? As far as strengthening. So let's go hard here. One last front round. It's your left hand toward outer right, or right hand toward left foot. So it's, remember, it's not alternating sides. This is muscle building, so it's repetitive side. The warm-up was alternating the sides in like the half rotations, right? And then it was full rotations in a faster way. Now it's like a repetitive rotation and contraction. Is everyone feeling this pretty good? You know, bicycling people do is basically very similar. You know, mountain climbers are very similar. If you know that one, that happens in plank. This is it. I can give you one more minute. Some of you took a rest and then you started up again. Come on, this is it for your abs. Yeah, nice, Kathy. Yeah, those are those mountain climbers. Another simple way to get twisting here in the crunch, yogis, is basically something like this. I kind of do a little crunch between the legs, a little crunch outside the right knee. It's like a little micro twist. Outside the left knee, up, outside the left knee, right? So you can just do it simple like this too, right? Doesn't have to be so like big moving, and then that's the long tension, the longer lever weight, right? Makes it basically look more like weight training. All right, you guys look done with your abs. So one of our favorite traditional yoga exercises is the bridge, and that's going to hit the glutes and the hamstrings and the lower back. So I want to give a little extra time here in the end. This is our
posterior chain peak. You gotta give one last big effort here, yogis. After this, you will stretch, okay? So basics, you're gonna have time to do like 3-4 rounds once I demo. You know it. Bridge, up downs, thrusts, holds, maybe pulsing. Little bit more is angled bridge, feet together. Boom, butt, belly in, posterior tilt. Even more, one-legged, right foot in the center, up. Get it going, up, hold, slowly lower down, up, hold, feeling good, upright, last weight bearing on the arms, okay? Feeling great, this is the big one-legged here, big inhale, exhale, up, hold, inhale, tap, exhale, up, hold. This is the big butt hamstring builder. Get into it, yogis.
I'm not going to count it out for you. I want you to work on pushing yourself. That is a practice in itself. I know it's sometimes good to have somebody push you, but we've all been doing this together for a year and a half. You gotta push yourself, yogis. Remember your goals. This is the last big effort of class. If you want to do like 3-4 sets of wheel, that can work too here, yogis. Reverse plank can work. I do prefer a strengthener as opposed to a back bend stretch. Nice, Brian. That's it. Up, hold, and then go down. Up, hold. Lift those hips higher though. Press through the big toe and the heel.
Get going, yogis. Keep it up.
Sorry, yogis. If you've ever had a female dog that's not spayed, you have to like, every time she goes outside just to go pee pee, she got to take her underwear off and then put them back on. It's a big deal. So let's go. Can you try to do like, what's the true thing we're working towards as the beginner? It's basically, if you're doing a one-legged bridge, it's like 2 rounds per leg. So that would be really 4 rounds. What are we looking out for? Like the too much swinging, right? You want quality muscular contractions. All right, that's easy to say, but you got to slow down. You got to feel your body. You want to press the big toe and the heel down more. You want to go up, hold, slowly lower down. 2 rounds per leg. I can give you 1 more minute. 1 or 2 more minutes almost. Nice, Brian. There it is, Stephen. That's that big butt trainer. Nice, Kathy. There it is, Leslie Darling. That's looking good. Remember, regular bridges are adequate. That's okay. We've done a lot. But one-legged bridge, it is taught in physical therapy to people that have no muscle and are not warmed up. It is safe and it is for beginners. Last moments here, please. Remember, that's the new style. It's like glutes and core. You see it popping up like everywhere. It's like abs and glutes. They do like, I yoga core I was teaching years ago, because I think we all need that like specialty class, because glutes and abs kind of need like isolated stuff sometimes. And now you see it, like all the gyms and specialty teachers, they all have like, they call it glutes and abs. I call it core, but it's like glutes and abs. And that's how we're finishing hard with here. And then you get the break, then you get the nice stretch and release. Anyone still going? No, doesn't look like. All right, we've made it, yogis. The promised land of stretching at the end of the yoga class. You know what I'm gonna, I didn't get you in straddle today, so I'm gonna rock you forward and back up. I'll do a couple of big stretches. If you wanna lay on your back and do some strap stretching, that might be nice. You kind of get this quality, right, where your strap goes out. But I'm gonna sit you up here, guys, because I didn't have you grab a strap earlier, and start you off nice and getting those inner thighs, and you get the glutes and the hamstrings that you were just working. All right, let's sit up nice and tall. Big inhale, flex those feet, lengthen through those heels. Big stretch here, so nice big breath. Let's slow down. Yeah, if there's other stretches you want to do, that's totally cool. I'm in hamstring or like back body and a little bit of the inner thighs right now. Right. All right, some of you are doing your strap stretching. You're kind of on your own. Maybe you switch legs. That's our back body stretch. Now I'm going to do the pigeon stretch next. That's going to get the outer hip, okay? So you know what to do here, yogis. Start on your tabletop. Maybe grab those blocks. Right shin forward. Remember, figure 4, seated cross-legged. Our easier variations here. Gomukhasana is a nice one. Left leg back, left hip toward right heel. Maybe coming down a little bit here, just a few breaths. People on the back, you can always do, like I said, figure 4 or reclining pigeon, grabbing that top shin. Okay, let's switch sides when you're ready, please. Yogis, I'm going to teach this, a twisting stretch, and then optional kind of like block supported pose on your back. So you kind of see my plan here to end class in case you need something else. When you're done with your pigeon, no rush. A seated spinal twist might be nice here, yogis. You're just kind of sitting, crossing the knee, heel outside the knee, kind of turning across that leg. If you feel like you'd rather lay on your back, bring a knee into the chest or both knees, drop them across the body. That's a nice closer here. Nice. Yeah. If you feel like you wanted to do another inversion, legs up the wall, that's kind of like where I'm headed in our last little exercise. And then, you'll switch up your twist here. Remember, try to sit up nice and tall. You did the crunching twist last, this kind of, remember we were in our abs, we were turning and crunching. So now it's kind of more like sit up here and turn. Lifting the chest crown on the inhale, and on the exhale, kind of releasing a little bit more into your twist. So here in the end, yogis, nice job today. One kind of therapeutic, either you can do restorative fish if you feel like we didn't do a lot of stretchy back bends today, right? I gave you a little bit of time for cobras. We didn't do much. So, this might feel really good. This is called the supported fish. Notice block is not underneath my hips, it's underneath the upper back. Okay. Another nice option could be the restorative bridge. Good for a little lower back massage. It can be quite intense, especially if your back's tight. I'm a little tight today. So, I can feel a little bit. Another nice option could be legs up in the air if you didn't get to do your inversion. Putting the legs up the wall, holding them up there for a good 2 minutes or so. Final pose here before we do that closing meditation. Remember the restorative bridge, guys, the block is underneath your pelvis, your sacrum, not in the lower back arch. Last good 45 seconds, a minute, please. We do have about 9:59, just in case anyone needs to get anywhere. I'll probably bring you just a few minutes after into this Shavasana practice, okay? So our final position is just a closing meditation. Calm your nerves, breath, heart rate, and relax everything. So ideally you have to notice a very obvious shift in the mind and body until you exit, okay? Hold this until you can feel a calming, a grounding, a centering of the mind and body. So you get comfortable, you close your eyes, you can do a couple breaths, but then you want to try to let that relax as well. You fidget a little bit, but then you be still. And then you let go, guys. You let the body rest, okay? Closing meditation.